911 Board Commissioners meeting in order. Mr. Ross, would you pledge for us?
Pledge allegiance, sir.
Holmes, you ready to pray for us?
See you on following prayer. Our most gracious, loving Heavenly Father, dear Lord, we thank you for this day and thank you for all the blessings you send us towards this parish, dear Lord. We pray that you'll just be with us tonight as we take care of the parish business, dear Lord, and help us to use wisdom and in everything that we decide. We thank you for all your blessings. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Please follow me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are there any guests or public comments for E911 Board? Any guests or public comments? Hearing none, are there additions and deletions to the agenda? Okay, hearing none. Old business. Any old business?
One thing, we discussed CEA last week. Ms. McKay is in the process of, she thought it would be better to write another CEA, basically officially wording the transfer of the new services the sheriff's going to provide in lieu of what that other CEA. So she's in the process of working on that now. Just going to take a little time for her to draft.
Okay.
Just to make it a little more formal. It's nothing different than what we talked about. It's just making it a more formal agreement. And she'll get it hopefully by next meeting, and sheriff can review it, then y'all can review it, and we can move forward from there.
Okay.
Just wanted to make, since we did discuss it last time, I want to let y'all know the status of it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, new business. Approved minutes from February 18th, 2025.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Baker,
Second.
second by Mr. Clark. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
You got nothing to vote with.
Aye.
Oh, there it is.
Shit.
Business lake at the beach.
Okay, motion passes. Item number 2, approve authorized payment of approved bills and accept the financial statements of the January 31st, 2025 and February 28th, 2025. And year-to-date actual report prepared by Dees Garner CPA.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Baker. I'll second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion passes. Motion to adjourn?
So move. So move.
Second.
We are adjourned.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
D911. Okay, we're gonna move right on into our regular meeting for the DeSoto Parish Police Jury. I want to welcome all the people who are in the audience today to join us, and also those who may be watching us on YouTube. Glad to have y'all with us. Our presentation of Achievement of Service Awards, Mr. Stanley Woodley. Is he in? Okay, we'll hold this for him. Man, Stanley, come show, get this beautiful plaque.
You don't feel appreciated.
Y'all must have told me.
Okay, any announcements? Any announcements? Seeing none, call for addition and deletions to the agenda. No deletion or? Okay.
Push to that
One addition, authorize the jury to grant an exception for the DeSoto Regional Foundation to have their event at the 4-H building on March the 29th, 2025.
What kind of event?
What do they have,
It's their annual barbecue and bingo. It's a fundraiser out there.
Hospital, yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't get their application in on time. Therefore, y'all's ordinance say y'all have to make the decision if it's within the 30-day time window.
So move.
motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Ross. Any discussion?
Is it outdoor function?
No.
No, their barbecue bingo is all indoors from what I've been told.
Yeah, it is.
But I've never been to it, so I don't know.
Okay. You gonna barbecue out indoors too?
You would have to ask them. I've never been to the event, Ms. Burrell.
If I may, Mr. President, they usually have it catered. It's already cooked.
Okay.
They have it in pans and they bring it
I just
inside.
wanna make sure,
Yeah,
you know
I'm-
why.
Yeah, I'm clarifying for you.
We'll make that item O. I'm sorry? Yeah, on the new business. Okay, President's report. Roll call. Who didn't vote? Mr. Baker, would you please start?
Aye.
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 The vote's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, President's report. Mr. Norton.
Presidents,
Yes, sir.
you,
He's administrator. You president.
Ah,
I'm not the president.
you tell me what I need to say anyway.
I'm not the president.
You need to tell me what I need to say anyway. I have none. I have none. Okay, council report.
The only report that I would give this time is that my understanding that Ms. Jennifer McKay has been serving the jury well and providing what the needed services through CEAs, land acquisitions, upcoming information on the constitutional amendments will affect this jury significantly, particularly Amendment Number 2. And I believe is Greg Morrison, are you addressing that issue when you speak?
I'll try to answer questions.
All right. But other than that, that's the extent of my report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, administrative report.
Yes, sir.
That's you, right?
Yes, that's me. Item 1, litter update. The report from the sheriff's office related to our litter pickup crew shows that during the months of November 24 through February of 25, they completed litter cleanup on 126 miles of roads within DeSoto Parish, collecting 1,635 bags of garbage. A detailed list of those roads are attached behind your administrator's report if you all want to look at the roads that they're focused on. Item 2, the Household Hazardous Waste Day. The 2025 Household Waste Day, which was held on March 8th this month, has completed. They had 3 locations collecting hazardous waste in Logansport, Grand Cane, and Stonewall. In the 3 hours they were open, they collected waste from 153 households and collected 228 tires for proper disposal. Item 3, the parish-appointed boards. Please find attached behind your administrator's report the boards of commission that the jury makes appointments to each year. In fact, I believe they just had the DA Adams made me aware that we had a board member just to see, so there's gonna be another open board, but I don't know which board he's on. That person just passed last week. Item 4, Planning Commission. The Planning Commission met last week with several items on their agenda. They made some suggested modifications to the current subdivision regulations related to lot size and the removal of the statement related to clear title. These are items that the jury has placed moratoriums on this past year. The moratorium discussion will be before the jury in April to make a formal amendment. There were discussions related to Sweet Life Drive in the Maple Leaf subdivision located in Frierson and it being brought into the road system. The commission members felt it necessary to make some recommendations to the developer before bringing this to the jury. The commission elected its chairman and vice chairman, who are Philip Clark and Randy Rogers, respectively. Item 5, road list. At this time, this office is working on collating and verifying the parish roads list. Within the next few months, the jury will be provided with a list of roads to review. The purpose of doing this is to remove any doubt whether a road is in fact listed on the parish road system. This has been a years-long process of researching the minutes from past meetings with the help of my administrative staff, myself, the parish engineer, and the parish secretary, and researching the records at the road department with the help of the past road superintendent and the new road superintendent. This is an in-house process that will not replace the legal process of abandonment of a road if that should come up. This is an official in-house list that will assist this administration in completing repairs and maintenance to roads within DeSoto Parish. When the road department is asked to do work on a road that is listed as private, it will be brought before the jury to be changed from private to public on the list. This is an extremely lengthy process, and I ask for your patience as we complete it. Item 6, Louisiana Economic Development and Executive Order Discussion. Please find attached to your administrator report a letter, an executive order from the governor's office, and supplemental information from the Louisiana Administrative Code related to the formation of a local ITEP committee. The executive order details the need for each parish to form this committee, which will provide input to the governor or the Board of Commerce and Industry on pending ITEP project applications. This item will be listed on the jury's agenda in April to formally act upon. Y'all will see there is in your binders. Please take this home and look this over. This is very important as it relates to ITEP applications that come before the governing bodies in DeSoto Parish. So take a look at it, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that I know about this process from any of you jurors. If y'all want to come afterwards or later this week, we can talk about that. Item 7, camera installations. The camera installations at all the jury buildings that the jury had previously approved have been installed. Item 8, the Stonewall compactor site. The acquisition of the 47 acres in Stonewall is completed. We are currently engineering the turn lane, roadway, and compactor site layouts. We should have some preliminary plans completed in April. Item 9, Cell 10 update and the gas system update. The construction of Cell 10 is all but completed. DEQ should be out within the next 3 weeks to complete the review, allow for the use of Cell 10. Weather and the gas system construction has caused significant delays, but I'm happy to report that we are still ahead of schedule for the completion of Cell 10, which includes pumping out some water that's currently there from a bunch of rainwater. The gas system construction should be completed and operational later in 2025. They've had some setbacks due to the weather. I have no immediate hard date for its operational use. They are operating the flare system successfully, although only intermittently due to the amount of leachate water being pulled out of the landfill. Item 10, recent bids. Bids for the hydraulic excavator and the articulated truck for the landfill were all rejected due to the bids that came in not meeting the required specifications and general terms of the bid. The new bid opening date is scheduled for Friday, April 4th at 10 a.m. Purchase orders were issued for the 9 open-top containers in the budget, and those were delivered Friday of last week to the landfill. Purchase orders for the 8 stationary compactors in the budget were issued, and we anticipate delivery of those next month. The 4 dump trucks and the 2 pull trucks authorized by the jury in the budget should be delivered no later than May 30th. That concludes my report. Does anybody have any questions?
Mr. Fuller?
Yes, on the one you were saying about the, it's made out of my, every time I think you're ready to say something, I forget what I was gonna say. But on those compactor sites, not on the roads, which one are we, doing in our, or you can give us a list of which one we're doing in our districts?
I'm going to give you a list of every single road in the parish, the district that it's in, whether it's labeled as a private or public road, for y'all to review in your various districts, because the districts have changed as well. You know, and that's part of the update that they've been going through, having to go and look at the miles that are on the road, because we have detail down to mileage in various districts.
And you mentioned about the private roads. Now, the private roads, you say we're gonna be doing work on the private road?
No,
Oh,
the list shows whether it's designated as a private road or if it's a public road.
Okay.
That's the list that the road department has a copy of and the parish secretary has a copy of it. The idea of she having a copy is each time y'all take a road in or you abandon a road, she makes a notation on this list. I want you all to take the list after we've spent years on trying to update it to make sure y'all all know which roads that are in the parish public system, to when y'all call and say, hey, we have this road, we need some work patching on. If it's a private road, that's gonna be brought to the jury to make a decision if they wanna take it.
Cause that was
in the
my
road.
question, why would we even have to work on a private road? That's why.
We shouldn't be.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's requests that come before the jury to take these roads in the system.
Yeah, I wanna know, 'cause it look like every time I try to get a road fixed, they said it ain't our road, and we've been maintaining it for umpteen years. I got one right now, Henderson Lane. It's
I'm
the
aware of this,
third
ma'am.
road. So, I want a copy of that list.
I believe that's on the jury's agenda next month to discuss that item. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any more questions for Mr. Norton? Okay, thank you, Mr. Norton.
Yes, sir.
Need to do something.
Lobbyist report?
Good afternoon. Greg Morrison, Delta Resource Group. I'm here in place of Chance McNeely, and my voice is about 2 octaves lower than probably it normally is with all this pollen. Just a couple of things. The regular session convenes on the 14th of next month, and will run till the 12th of no later than 6 p.m. on June the 12th. There's really only 2 bills thus far. It's very early in the bill filing process, so we've only seen a couple of bills. Just to highlight them very quickly. One is House Bill 4 by Representative Chuck Owens. It involves carbon sequestration, authorizes the Parish governing authority to determine whether Class 4 carbon dioxide injection wells may be permitted within its parish. So that might be something we'll obviously be, it's referred to House Natural Resources and Environment, and we'll be monitoring that quite closely. Then the only other bill to date is House Bill 13 by Representative Michael Maryland from Shreveport. It authorizes the Kettle Parish School Board to levy additional sales and use taxes, and it's been referred to House Committee on Municipal and Parochial Affairs. This probably has a little something to do with their anxiety of the governor and the legislature doing something with the inventory tax. So I'm quite sure there'll be many more bills to get filed between now and the last filing time, which is right there at the beginning of the session. Next month, we'll probably have unfortunately, a longer list that deals with more things that concern your parish. So, so stay tuned. I didn't know, you were asking me about Proposition Amendment number 2?
I did, yes.
Well, I think there's pros and cons on both sides, so don't pin me down on which way you need to vote,
I would encourage everyone to look up Public Affairs Research Council for Louisiana, and they have a guide, and I was reading it because there was 3 of the 4 address judicial matters, if you will, and I'm still not convinced that there's a problem that needs addressing by these proposed amendments.
Sometimes we create unintended consequences, and sometimes we find a problem that's looking for a solution. Or a
Apparently-
solution looking for a problem.
Amendment number 2 is a reworking of the revenue of the state.
Yes, sir.
One of the items apparently in there is that the severance taxes, if that cap is eliminated, then each parish will receive their 20% of the severance taxes that are currently paid to the state by the generators in each parish. And depending on what numbers you hear, DeSoto Parish has sent upwards to $180 million.
Yes.
Or, I had heard 300 a year or two ago, but that may not have.
I do not know.
played out.
I remember having a discussion with you in your office about how much money y'all send to Baton Rouge and how little comes back, which
Right.
is
So,
a travesty in and of itself.
And this would theoretically allow the parish to get back the money that we need to rebuild our infrastructure that's being depleted by the production of all the oil and gas, beating up all of the roads and everything else, so.
Yes. And I mean, it mentions lowering the state income tax rate and increasing deductions for people 65 years of age and older, which I'm fastly approaching. So I am kind of interested in that in the next 60 days. But yes, the devil is in the details, and I would recommend there's a number of websites. Empower, the one you mentioned there, they're very that's a very nonpartisan group right there that you will get some really good information from.
Because my concern is looking at the amendments, and especially number 2. It's very confusing. There's so much involved that it entails. So I have individuals that are trying to figure out which way to vote with it, because they're trying to figure out, okay, is it a severance tax where we're going to get money back? Is it money for people over 65, homestead? So exactly what does this entail? So they don't know which way to vote, because this is so, it's too much.
It is a lot. Yes, ma'am. I will certainly agree.
It's very confusing, and I'm trying to explain it, and I've been reading and explaining and just trying to tell individuals, let me learn as much as I can, because I want their votes and minds to matter, but this is a little ridiculous. It's very confusing, and people that don't know, if I'm 65 or over and I see something 65 that's going to provide me, that I'm thinking is going to help me, then I'm going to vote yes, and then it's just, it's encompassed a lot here, whoever wrote this. It's very confusing.
Yes, ma'am. Look, I can't disagree with you. It'll give you a headache trying to read it,
Yes,
that's for
it
sure.
does.
One of the provisions in PAR's review is the scope of just amendment number 2 is contained in a 115-page bill that is forthcoming. And companion bills that are, with corresponding provisions. So even they can't seem to
Exactly,
wrap
because-
and explain it all.
Because when you look at this, people over 65, people with homestead, retirement, teachers, it encompasses so many different groups of individuals to, I don't know if I vote yes, am I getting what I want? Am I voting no? So is this, I just feel like this.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's getting a little something, but everybody's giving up a little something, and
Yep.
it's
That's what I'm afraid of.
And I'm thinking in the fact, and I'm seeing things vote no, but if they vote no and it don't pass, and I know it says something, Chance said something about the 64 parishes, all of them have to vote on this particular one. If it's a no vote and we're wanting a yes vote so that we can get the monies to help our parishes, do you see where I'm going with
Oh,
this?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of things out there circulating saying vote no.
Yes, ma'am.
So
My phone I've gotten 3 different texts, I think really since I got in this building about 4:20, the various groups.
no card in the mail, yes cards in the mail.
Correct.
And it's ridiculous. This is
Yes, ma'am.
very, very confusing for individuals that are trying to cast a vote that they feel, that they want to truly, really count. I don't agree with this the way
I
the
don't
wording of
either.
this, but anyway.
Lawyers by lawyers.
I agree with Miss Trina, because
It's ridiculous.
it's like
Break
saying,
this apart.
in order to get this, you're gonna have to vote for this, and, and people get confused, and they'll mess around, won't nothing pass, cause they confused
Exactly.
about.
And and that very well could happen.
Yeah. this is-
That very well could happen. That's,
I don't know how that.
That's the
process-
option.
That one, number 2 is gonna go. That one is up in the air.
yes, well, early voting started last Saturday.
Yes, it
I
did.
walked by and saw, I live in Shreveport, the Caddo Courthouse, a few people were trickling in, so I don't know, I hadn't followed it. Y'all had much early voting in this parish?
We had 150
Well, yeah, it's, okay.
That's pretty good, really, for these type of things. A lot of times the turnout's very low. So anyway, encourage people to go vote, whether they vote for it or against it. That's the way the system works. And the more people that go vote, at least we can say, hey, we either get it or we didn't, but everybody went and voted, so. Any further questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. No chance we missed it.
Yes, sir. He's closing on a new house. His family keeps growing.
Ain't mad at him. Treasurer's financial report?
Good evening.
Good evening.
For the general report, and I just want to point out that we are still in a draft mode right now with all the financials until probably June when we complete the audit. So there's some possibilities of some numbers changing, but majority, it's going to be 98% the numbers you're looking at. But there is still some audit adjustments that have to be done. For February, in the general fund, we received $4.9 million in revenues, while the expenses were at $2.1 million. One of the biggest expenses for this month was that we pay the property and casualty insurance, and we pay that all up front for the year. The road department fund, we received $6.9 million in revenues, while the expenses are at $1.5 million. Sales tax collections are about where they should give or take a 1% lower. Witness and jurors revenues are at 16% and expenditures at 4.7%. The jail fund, we received $224,876 in sales tax and interest earnings. The operational expenses are at 16.27%. One of the issues in that is the insurance is over budget. This is due to the replacement value changed from $9 million to $10 million, therefore increasing the insurance premium. And we had several buildings that had a insurance replacement value change from 2024 to 2025. So some of those kind of kicked the premium up. The correctional facility fund, we pay $60,000 to the architect. That's all the expenditures on that fund. The total fund balance is $14,995,000 with $7. Solid waste fund, we received $6.9 million in revenues. Expenses for the landfill are at 15%, while the compactor sites are at 13%. Criminal court fund, we received $128,638 in revenues. We spent $43,890. It's a net increase in the fund balance of $84,747. Office of Community Services, total collected was $232,165, while the expenses were at $211,807. We did receive a payment for $2,060 for the December reimbursement. We received that on Friday. We're still waiting for the additional $58,783. Plus, the January reimbursement was submitted to them last week for $59,086. You will see that the fund does have a deficit on it. Like I said, I have not closed out the year, so it's rolling a deficit from last year that should clear out. Airport fund, revenues are at 8.5%, while the expenses are at 18%. Rental assistance, revenues are at 18% and expenses at 16%. Animal Services, revenues collected was $3,690, plus the $562,000 transfer from general fund, and their expenses are at 16%. Sinking fund, no activity other than the interest that we have. Account balance on that is $3,184. Self-insurance, we transfer a total of $452,191 as of the end of February, and we paid out $358,675 in admin fees, claims, and prescriptions. The fund has a net change of $93,515. Disaster recovery, no activity in the month of February. Does anybody have questions?
I have one, Ms. Garcia. It doesn't pertain to your report. You know, the big fire that's going on, Mr. Baker probably can answer this as well. Big fire that's going on in Shreveport, it might be still going on. I'm not sure. But they were one of our customers, right?
Correct.
How would that impact us?
I can probably better address that.
Okay.
As I understand, it was some of the cardboard material and some of the waste that's sent out here was burned. I mean, I checked with Josh to look at our permit to see if we can even take that material once because it's changed. It's essentially carbon, you know, so I don't know if that's going to fall under a different code with the permit. I don't think it will affect us because they've been moving material out there today. We've taken loads of the regular Pratt material. So when I know more, you will know more.
Okay,
So,
all right. Thank you.
I will tell you this, I did communicate with Live Oak, and I told them, please, before you start shipping that stuff to us, you need to talk with me first, because that, you know, last thing we want is a fire at Mundy landfill that may exist in that material. I mean, surprise me if they would let something like that happen, because they would be liable for that fire if that came out there. So.
Okay. Any other questions for the financial board?
Motion to approve the financial report.
Motion by Mr. Baker. Second by Mr. Fuller. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. What are we waiting on? Latham. Okay, motion passes. Approval of minutes. February 18th, 2025. Regular meeting, March 3rd, 2025. Administrative and Community Service Committee meetings, March 10th, 2025. Administrative and Road Committee meetings.
So move with all necessary correction.
Motion by Mr. Fuller,
Yeah.
second by Mrs. Burrell. Any questions? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion passes. Okay, old business. Authorize the parish treasurer to transfer $500,000 from the general fund into the OCS fund already budgeted through the end of June 2025 to be reimbursed through LHC.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fuller, second by Ms. Burrell. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion carries. New business. Authorize the jury to grant an exception for the DeSoto Regional Foundation to have their event at the 4-H building on March the 29th, 2025.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Ross, second by Mr. Raines. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion carries. Resolutions. Authorize the president to sign the resolution consenting to the assignment state agency lease number 22261 from Beta Land Services, all of their rights, titles, and interests in said lease unto Chesapeake, Louisiana, LP.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Holmes. I'll second. Any discussion?
Name? Question, is this a name change, or this is moving over to Chesapeake? What?
That is simply a term of our lease through the State Mineral Board, and when the terms allow the owner, the police jury, to agree or not agree to a transfer and a conveyance of that lease to another operator.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah, I'm a mail creator with Beta Land Services. We took the lease on behalf of Chesapeake. The leases are still in the name of Chesapeake. Eventually, everything will go to the new name, Expand Energy.
Okay.
And it's just an administrative type deal where the lease will now be assigned by us to
Okay.
Chesapeake, because we're in the land business and not the oil and gas business. So that's basically it, yeah.
Clarify.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions before we sit down? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion passes. Next, authorize the president to sign a resolution adopting a citizen participation plan for a CBDG program.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Burt.
Ooh.
Mr. Johnson. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. About your grandfather.
I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
You should.
I need to talk a little deeper if y'all gonna call me that.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ross. Any discussion?
Yeah. Can you elaborate on these different?
Yeah, the organization that has to do all the community outreach, if we're gonna participate, they have to do the community outreach, find low to moderate income areas so we can qualify for any CDBG grants in the future, so. And this is the process. The organization, I believe it's CDC, does this for us, for all the grants.
Grant process for the block grants that we apply for each year. Just them going out and doing some of the polling and so.
Yeah, they have to go to communities, knock on doors, determine who qualifies for that stuff. They do this with every single grant that's ever brought before the jury, like this.
We ain't been having that. We had this.
They do this with every grant through the CDBG and LCDBG program. They've been doing that since they've existed.
So we coming up with a committee, or this just a program that we?
No, ma'am, the organization that does this, CDC, they send their people out that does all the work so we can qualify for the grant. Because the grant has terms, like you have to be in low to moderate income areas
Yeah,
or something
I
like
know.
that, or you have to
I'm-
focus on roads or something. They put the information together so we can file for the application, the grant application. This is us giving them the authority, representing the jury, because we are the grant recipients ultimately to
I got what you're saying now. I'm just kind of reluctant about it. Cause I know some things that it's coming down the pipe, so I am kind of reluctant. He know what I'm talking about. So that's why I'm asking.
Okay, any other questions? Hear none, please vote.
Who is it, Jody?
It's me. Cause I'm trying to decide. Cause see, I want to know when they go out. I already know. I just got a feeling. You know what I'm saying. Cause me and you talked about it.
This will be a process to make sure that the proper people are getting, the money's being spent in the proper places.
Yeah, you know that's my concern. I mean, cause Mansfield gonna be affected more than anybody with these grants, in cause I know how they go. But I'm gonna give y'all a chance, and I'm keep a close eye on it. I just want you to know.
Okay, motion passes. Next, authorize the president to sign a resolution approving an industrial tax exemption with International Paper Company submitted by Louisiana Economic Development.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Fuller,
Se-
second by Mr. Latham. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion passes. Ordinances. Authorize the president to sign ordinance 1 of 2025, creating a prospective precincts by the merger of precincts geography in accordance with the Louisiana Revised Statutes 15-532, 18-532.1, to amend a certain precinct legal description to assign polling locations to precincts and to rename certain precincts. Also move.
Second.
Second by Mr. Baker. Any discussion?
I ain't trusting this either. I ain't.
This is-
Black precinct. Come on,
Mr. Hefner?
He's here.
He's-
Okay.
Mr. Raines asked if you would explain it to us.
Sure. Can I get my packet? Email group.
Mr. President, members of the jury, good seeing you again. This is a process that you do annually by a state statute that requires each parish in the state to do a survey of their precincts and to identify any precincts that have fewer than 300 active voters. If you have fewer than 300 active voters, statute requires you to either merge that precinct with an adjoining precinct or consolidate polling locations. What the state's trying to do all this time is trying to reduce the cost of an election. You had about 6 of them in your last survey that was performed, that you adopted and sent to the state probably late last year. There were about 6 of them that qualified for a merger. So all we're doing is geographically merging one precinct in with the next one. This was pretty straightforward because the polling location doesn't change for any of the voters with the exception of the merger of 34B and 35B in the Keachai area. Those voters were actually going up north to Stonewall at the North DeSoto Pre-K Center to vote. This moves them to Keachai Town Hall, which is a lot closer for them. So it's actually going to be more convenient for those voters. All the other ones, though, all the other mergers, they will continue to vote where their polling place has been assigned earlier. Y'all adopted a resolution back in January making some changes. This ordinance reflects those changes.
Thank you.
So really, you're gonna probably have a few voters, they'll get a new card in, For example, voters in 6A will get a new card from the Secretary of State. And instead of precinct 6A, it'll show precinct 6. They'll still go to the same place, still vote like they normally do. So it'll save you and the state money on running your elections. And then next year, later this year, you're gonna have to do another survey, see whatever, if you have any that are under 300, and then we'll take it from there. But this is probably taking care of a lot of the ones that were out there that were remaining.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, please vote. Okay, motion carries. Administrative items, Mr. Holmes.
All right, administrative items. Item number 10, accept the Brian Norwood Jr.'s resignation letter from the DeSoto Parish Waterworks District 1 Board.
So moved.
Second.
Is that you made the motion?
I did.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Johnston,
Second.
second by Mrs. Trina Board Simpson. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Oh, didn't we just, I'm confused. Didn't we just, was somebody else,
No, this, we just hired a new administrator. This is a board member.
oh, okay, so, okay, that's where I know I was confused. I thought we was replacing the man we just voted on.
No, it's a board member.
Okay, I got you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion passes.
Item number 11, appoint a new member to the DeSoto Parish Waterworks District 1 Board.
Mr. President, I would like to nominate Bubba Lum for that position.
Okay, Bubba Long.
Yeah.
The LUBM, I'm sorry, LUM? Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, I'll move that the nomination be closed then. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnston. Any discussion?
You made
I made the motion.
No, I thought.
I made the motion.
I thought we had to have a second for the closing the nomination. I'm sorry.
If no other discussion, please vote. Okay, that motion passes. He wouldn't have to be in the ordinance today, would he?
No,
He's not here today? Okay.
Item number 12, amend the budget in the amount of $7,000 for installation of dash cameras in dump trucks, roll-off trucks, and permit officer vehicles.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Baker. Second by Mr. Raines. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, why? Why? I mean, is it a purpose for this, Mr. North?
Yeah,
Insurance.
it's about a 5% reduction on your insurance premiums to have these cameras, and we've been getting sued an awful lot, and we need to have proof. We don't have dash cameras in any of our trucks or the permit officer vehicles who write tickets. So,
Okay, y'all gonna put them in y'all's too?
only the vehicles, the dump trucks, and the permit office.
I mean, you gonna put them in there, put them in them out.
Dump trucks are roll-offs. If you put them in all of them, the increased cost for, the cost of the cameras
We could afford it.
will not offset the premium increase or reduction, so.
Mr. Fuller?
Yeah, 'cause that was my thing. Like, you go in on some of them, they need to be in all of them.
Yep.
And we didn't know what all of our drivers doing. It shouldn't be a select group or what, because like anybody can have an accident. I mean, it can cover you. It can protect you. You can protect anybody that's riding in one of our vehicles, as for, if they were driving correctly, I'll say protect them. But I'd like to make an awesome motion that we put them in all of our vehicles.
Okay, we have alternate motion.
Yeah.
Second by Ms. Burrell. We put them in all the vehicles. Any other discussion?
Do we know how many vehicles we have?
Not off the top of my head. We'll have to go back and get a quote.
Do we know how many
Does this
vehicles
include-
do we know how many vehicles this 7,000 is incorporating?
Yeah,
39?
37 or 39.
You say we have 100 vehicles?
Yes, easy.
Would you say we have 200 vehicles?
No. It won't, it's
Have
not going to
150?
be more than 100 vehicles.
No more than 100?
No more than 100 vehicles, no.
So 39 is going to be 7,000, so we're looking at 20,000?
Well, I mean, we're going to have to go back to insurance, and I would not recommend y'all make an open motion giving us carte blanche to just spend as much money. I would recommend if y'all are going to want to do that, let us go back to the table and get you some figures. I never recommend just writing a blank check like that. That's my recommendation.
I have no problem there as long as they go in. I just want them in all vehicles, all of them. Now, I don't want to just select a certain few to put them in. Let's do it in all of them.
Well,
and I understand what you're saying, like about writing a blank check. I have no problem with you getting your
But-
figures, doing all that, but I still would like them in all of them.
I can't speak to what an industry standard is exactly, but I know a lot of the trucking companies, they put these in their big trucks only. They don't put them in all
I'm
their
not concerned about
vehicles.
the other, I'm not being funny, I'm not being smart. I'm not concerned about I'm just concerned about making sure all of us are protected. Because it's so much going on now, it's so much road rage, there's so many different things happening out there now. You have a camera to show that you possibly were in the right. That's all I'm looking at.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Don, when do this have to be done? As far as,
Doesn't have to be done at any time. I mean, that's a quote that we got from them right now, to save money on our insurance. I mean,
Why don't we go ahead with what we've got on the agenda, and then you go back and check and see if we can get any kind of a discount for all the vehicles, or whether
Sure.
it even be worthwhile to go with all the vehicles.
sure, I can do that.
Couldn't we just go with what's on the agenda tonight? Go ahead and install into the dump trucks, roll-off trucks, permit officer vehicles, and then let you go back and check on the rest of them?
I can. Yeah, we can do
Get the
that.
cost, and also cost savings on insurance.
Okay, I can do that.
can I say something?
Y'all need to vote on that alternate, so.
Yeah,
yeah, did you get a second on an alternate motion?
Yes.
Ms. Burry.
Okay, well,
Mr. Tom, I'm concerned, like I say, if we do that, I mean, like I say, you make them get a greater, larger discount with all of them. I mean, like I say, you're going with this amount here, and when they do a whole fleet, it may be, more feasible. But like I say, either way, as long as we look at doing all of them, so.
Normally the discount.
Because it may not be with the same company. If you go with this company now, who's saying it can be with the same company for the rest of them?
Normally the discounts are gonna come on those big commercial vehicles, those F-150s and stuff. You're not gonna, the commercial vehicles like the dump trucks and the big trucks, those are the ones where you get the discounts. But the F-150s, you don't really see much difference.
But I got the part on the discount on the insurance. I'm cool with that. I love the discount. But like I said, I still want other people protected. That way if something happens, we can say we weren't in the wrong. So that's what I'm looking at, so.
Mr. Norris, one more question. Do you have a price figure on the trucks that you had already looked at doing?
Yeah, there was, oh gosh, I think it was about 12 to 15,000 for the equipment purchase and installation, 7,000. We needed to amend the budget because 7,000 is on the subscription service, and we don't have that in the budget. So that's what the amendment to the budget is for. We were gonna pay for this out of the equipments that we have, the budget we have for equipment already. So, there's gonna be it's not just $7,000.
Yeah, I got you.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can get you that information, but it's gonna be substantially more.
That's fine, we have,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, we're voting on the alternate motion. Put them in all the vehicles. Okay, that motion failed.
Okay, let me ask you this, cause now y'all gonna say we can't come back for 3 months and ask about this again, right?
No, I believe you'll have to vote on the original motion now.
We have to vote on the original motion. That's what's on here now.
I'm good with the same time.
Okay, so I can put this on the agenda again for next month.
Yeah.
I'm just,
You just gotta word it a different way. We can be done. We can be done.
okay, cause
Yes, it gives the information for it, and then we can put it on the agenda.
Now we vote
get the information, cause I still say, if you're gonna do it for one, you need to do it for everybody.
Okay, we're gonna vote on the original motion. Amend the budget.
Motion in a second.
Yes, we had an original,
Yeah, we had a-
Baker
yeah.
and Raines.
I think if
Okay, vote on the original motion.
I wanna get in here, once we finish, take a speak.
Okay, that motion passes. Okay, community services and development and public housing item. Mr. Fuller?
Good evening, everybody. Motion to consider a corporate endeavor agreement with other governmental bodies for the upfront cost of the weatherization program.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Trina Boyd Simpson,
Yeah,
second by Mrs. Burrell. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion passes.
Item 14, authorize accepting the donation from the Louisiana Housing Corporation for a F-350 and a weatherization mobile unit trailer.
so move.
Motion by Ms. Burrell,
Second.
second by Mrs. Trina Boyd Simpson, and second by Mrs. Trina Boyd Simpson. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, please vote.
Agree.
Okay, motion carries.
Road item. Authorize the president to sign a CEA agreement with the town of Stonewall for drainage system on Twin Oaks, updated material costs and prior authorization.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Baker,
Second.
second by Mr. Latham. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, the motion passes. Motion to adjourn? Motion, and a second? Second? We are adjourned. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Getting old.
See, they